Beats are arguably the hardest thing to master inside of Sudowrite, whether that's from working with the AI and not understanding all the little quirks there, or unfamiliarity with working with story beats in general. So, for the past couple of days, I've been working on some prompting to make this easier for everybody. Because no matter how many times I demonstrate ways that people can improve their beats and work with them, I still see it come up a lot with people having trouble and the pros constantly looping. I wanted to give y'all a better starting point, especially for beginners, so that's one less hassle for y'all to deal with. I do think I've come up with something that is pretty darn good, so I'm excited to show it to y'all. We're going to take chapter 6 here and generate some beats. First, we're going to generate regular Sudowrite generated beats just to compare. All right, so Sudowrite gave us 12 beats, 604 words in total. Let's look at them. 2 to 3 sentences in each. However, the downfall is that about half of each sentence is the annoying participial phrases. Heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Silent battle for dominance. His piercing eyes fixed on Isabel. All these phrases are generally stuff writers don't want to include, especially those writing in dark mafia romance like I do. We don't want all those cliche, cheesy sounding phrases. That's about half of each beat. 604 words, 12 beats, and that cost us 3,841. Keep in mind, the beats box, the chapter generator uses GPT 3.5. So I am going to keep track of this cost right here. Give us 604 words, 12 beats. Okay, so now we are going to go back to the outline and we are going to take the chapter summary and use the new plugin that I made and compare it to the beats that Sudowrite gave us. I'm just going to put it down here and run the plugin. This does use Mixtral, so it's very cheap. However, you know how Mixtral could be if you played around with it. Sometimes it's unpredictable. You see here, it couldn't actually decide what it wanted to do. There's some dialogue, which actually isn't bad. I like to have lines of dialogue in my beats anyways. That's not bad at all. The major quirk I found is similar to this. It always ends differently. So it could be the continual thing like this. It could be a wrap up describing the tone of the scene, various things like that. Again, that's Mixtral for you. But this gave us 6 beats for a total of 652 words. And the cost was 114 credits. Now let's look at comparing them real quick. Here in our beat 1, low hum of hushed voices, clinking glasses greeted Isabella as she stepped into the dimly lit speakeasy. Goes over what she's feeling. I like that. Much better than she arrives at the speakeasy. Her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation, scans the dimly lit room. So we see how this stride right here could definitely have some looping, but also it leaves a lot of room for interpretation for the AI to fill in whenever you generate your prose. And that's where the issues come in for a lot of people. They don't know how to work in their vision for the scene and start editing these beats. And now I think like this could actually guide them a little bit better. Now you can decide, okay, do you want this line of dialogue? Do you want them to say something else? Has some details, descriptions that you could easily change up if you don't like them. And just to show you how, I don't want to say finicky, Just to show you how often this plugin could vary due to being used by Mixtral or due to using Mixtral. Let's try it one more time. And I'm curious to see how it will do the ending in this because like I said, it's usually a tone describing the scene or that continual thing. This one looks about normal, 498 words. Let's check out beat number 1. Pushes open the heavy wooden door. Man with a scar across his cheek catches her eye. And that cost 100 credits. Let's compare this to the Just Beat It's plugin because that was the one prior that I had made. Now, the Just Beat It plugin is originally meant to be used on highlighted Sudowrite generated beats. I'm going to go ahead and try it out on this one. And this one uses one of the GPTs, I think 4, could be 3.5, I'm not sure. So this is the regular Just Beat It. And you can see how it's setting up the scene and instructing the AI. I prompted this one to make sure it provided instructions to the AI. I'm describing Isabella, her reaction, introducing the characters here, confrontation that should happen, things like that. So this was 412 words, 10 beats, or 9,242 credits. Expensive, right? But it does bring out some more details instead of being very vague. Very vague. Let's use it on top of Sudowrite generated beats. Copy these out. And again, this is actually how I intended to use this plugin. And yes, I do now have a cheaper version. And I will show you the combination that I think is really going to make everybody happy with their beats. And you can see this one is actually going into other chapters. It does read the outline. I did that so it would hopefully keep things seamless. So I'm just going to count the one chapter. 198 extra words. And of course, still high. Cost even more for that. Almost 12,000. So needless to say, to just beat it, while it produces good beats, they still had room for improvement, but also it was very expensive, which is why I've been working on the new one. Let's try the cheaper version of Just Beat It. Highlight this again. And if Mixtral would just stay consistent, because again, this one is using Mixtral. If it would stay consistent, it'd be amazing, but you never quite know what you're going to get. And then it starts going crazy, which is typical. So this was, I'm not going to count the crazy one, 939 words, or 194 credits. Those are currently the options we've had now. And then I just added this chapter beats plugin, which again, I've been working on the prompting the last couple of days to give it a really good start for everybody. And since it's so cheap, this is actually what you can do. Of course, you can generate Sudowrite's beats. Just keep in mind, I am trying to also save you on cost. Sudowrite's generated beats run average about 3,500. And again, they generally need a lot of work to avoid looping and have those phrases in there that I really don't like. And this style is something I did make sure these beats took into account very heavily. So I reinforced that it should follow the style box. And I've also told it to make sure it works on very strong wording. So let's see the combination here. So far we have Sudowrite generated beats at this cost, the new Chapter Beats plugin, the old Just Beat It plugin, Mixtral version. So now we are going to combine the Chapter Beats and the Mixtral Just Beat It. So first, I'm going to run the Chapter Beats plugin. Again, this is just on my chapter summary, but you could do it on the Sudowrite generated beats. And once again, a different format because that is what Mixtral likes to do. But these are actually pretty good. I like this because this would instruct the AI into doing this. You just need to make sure your format's correct. Otherwise, this would be a beat and this would be a beat. So you'd have 3 beats all right here. Make sure you keep that in mind and adjust accordingly. Weave in more ambiguity. I actually like this. I wish I could get it more often. This was 586 words and it costs 111. Now, for the combo, I am actually going to copy this. And you see me using this because there's been issues with the copy button. That is causing a lot of the format to not be correct whenever we paste it. I'm going to highlight it, place this. This is the result of our chapter beats. Plug in and look. Oh, there's Mixtral for you. I'm actually going to take out all that. Now the chapter beats plug in. And now I'm going to use the Mixtral Just Beat It because regular Just Beat It is expensive. Let's run this one. Bad. Let's see how it is worded. Not bad. Let's see. Pretty good size. Let's see if it's any good. Isabella, don't like that. Eases her way into the speakeasy. Greeted by laughter. I like the setting of the scene. Scent of tobacco smoke, mingling with aged whiskey and perfume. I like it. And again, I know you aren't seeing me do this. I hope it goes without saying. Edit this to make it fit your vision. Make the changes that you want, add in any details that you want. But the whole purpose was to give you that really good starting point, and I feel like this actually achieves that. This was a total of 693 words for a cost of 199 credits. You see, it gave us the same amount of beats and just thickened them up a bit. I especially like that it seems it took these instructions here from the original one and actually included that. And I have some lines of dialogue in here. So let's look at the final results. Okay, so a breakdown of our total cost. Regular Sudowrite generated beats cost almost 4,000 credits, give us a little over 600 words, 12 beats. Generally needing a lot of work to thicken those up and prevent the looping and start adding in some specific details. The new chapter beats plugin, 114 credits, 652 words, only 6 beats, but very thick. Still needing some work again to add in your own vision. The old Just Beat It, which is high cost, decent results, but high cost. And the Mixtral version of Just Beat It, low cost, almost 1,000 words. And then this is the combination of using the chapter beats plugin on the chapter summary, which is how I designed it. You could use it on Sudowrite generated beats, but I find it does work best on the chapter summary. And then taking the result of the chapter beats plugin and running the Mixtral Just Beats It plugin on that. The resulting cost from running both of those was 310 credits for over 1,000 words and 12 beats. Actually, no, this wasn't 12 beats. It was 6 beats for each one, just lengthened up. You could probably actually do 12 if you want to draw out the scene. And just a brief look at it again. So this was the result of our chapter beats plugin. And this was running Mixtral Just Beats It on these results. So you can see, in my opinion, this is a much better start. But I'm going to sound like a broken record and say it one more time. Edit the output, especially as you go and work with this. So edit it here before you run the next step, and then edit again to add in your own details. But I feel like this is a much better start for everyone to have and not struggle so much with the beats. So I will put the link to these 2 plugins in the video description so you can grab them if you'd like. Please feel free to comment on this video or reach out to me in Discord if you have any questions, any issues with it, or to let me know, hey, this plugin sucks, or Hey, I really like it and it helped me. I love hearing from y'all. All right. Thank y'all very much for watching. Bye, everyone.